we're given that a line with slope 3 passes through the ordered pairs -2, 7, and r, -11, and we want to determine what the value of r is. And so we are missing kind of this x-coordinate in that particular point right there. But we do know the slope of the line is 3. And if you think about how we find slope of a line is taking the change in the y, so -11 minus 7, over the change in the x's, which would be r minus -2, and that's going to give you your slope. But we actually know the slope there is 3, and so now it's just kind of going backwards of what we've done before, and now just trying to solve for r. So just kind of rewriting what we have a little bit and simplifying, you can see right there that that's just going to be -18, and then because you're subtracting a negative there, that's really the quantity of r plus 2, and that's equal to 3. So if we've got r in the denominator of that fraction, then what we'll want to do is we'll want to multiply by r plus 2, because then the r plus 2 multiplying and dividing will cancel each other out and just equal 1. So you're just going to get -18 on this side when you do such a thing. Now, of course, you're going to have to multiply the other side by the same thing to keep this equation balanced, which is the quantity of r plus 2. So it's really important you have that in parentheses. So then when you distribute that 3, you're going to get 3 times r plus 6. And then from there, it's just, subtract 6 and then divide by 3. So you end up getting -8 is equal to r. And so if you wanted to, you could, of course, check that to make sure that that's going to be the correct x-coordinate. So if you did do -11 minus 7, and then now that we know that r is -8, then -8 minus -2, that's going to give you the slope. And so you end up getting -18, and -8 plus 2 is -6, and that ends up being a negative divided by a negative, which is a positive, and you end up getting 3 for your slope. So checks out A-OK there. And then the example right below this says to find the value of s of the line passing through s to -3 and 4, 6, that's slope -3/2. So it's basically the same sort of thing going on right here, that if we find the slope of this, which would be 6 minus -3 and 4 minus s, then that's going to be equal to a slope of -3/2. So simplifying just a little bit, we get 9 over the quantity of 4 minus s equals -3 over 2. So since s is on the bottom there, we'll want to multiply by 4 minus s to undo that. And then we're going to get just 9 equals, and then we'll have to multiply this here by 4 minus s as well. So then when we distribute that multiplication, you're going to get -3/2 times 4, which would be -12 over 2. But -12 over 2, right, is actually -6. So you get -6, and then that's a negative times a negative, so you actually end up getting plus 3/2 s there. And then we can next add 6 there to undo that, and add 6 to the side, so that's going to give us then 15, which equals 3/2 times s, and then we can undo the multiplication of 3/2 by multiplying that side by 2/3, and then also multiplying that side by 2/3, which is going to give you 30 over 3, but 30 over 3 is 10, so that gives us the value there for s.